Shridhar Kelkar, who is the chairman of the Avatar Meherabad Trust, and Ram Nori, who was here a moment ago, have been traveling around the United States for numerous weeks. And they will be leaving tonight to return to India. So they're back for Silence Day. Shridhar Kelkar met Baba, as you heard last night, if you were here, and if you weren't, in the 60s. And then he had the great pleasure of seeing Baba at Dara Amit's wedding, right a month before Baba dropped the body. And he told his story last night about how he became a Baba lover. His wife's family, the Talati family, was with Baba from the very beginning. Literally from the very beginning. His father-in-law was actually the one that found Chanji before and brought him to Baba in the early 20s. I can't remember the date, I think it's in 22 or 3 or something in that vein. Baba was speaking in those days. The remarkable thing about Shridhar is that he is the first chairman of the trust to not be directly picked by Baba or to be a Mandali of Baba's. So his background in management brought him great experience and balance and calmness in being able to deal with the many problems of the Avatar Meherabad Trust. Today he's not going to speak about that, though. He's going to speak about the Great Darshan. And it is my great, great privilege to introduce our dear friend Shridhar Kelkar, Chairman of the Avatar Meherabad Trust. Jim Meherabad.
Thank you, Alan. So yesterday I mentioned that I had a first glimpse of Beloved Baba in 1962, and in 1968 I had a good fortune of being in Meherabad for 2 days and getting a chance to embrace Beloved Baba. So these were the 2 occasions when I had Baba Darshan. And when in November 1968, circular had come that Baba will be giving darshan to people from all over the world in Guru Prasad in April, May, June 1969. When the circular was received, of course we were very happy that we'll have one more chance of having Baba Darshan. And one more thing happened was some people from Bombay Center, they were asked to be volunteers during the Great Darshan, especially escorting the pilgrims who are coming from overseas. They stayed in big groups, escorting them to Pune, then from Pune to one-day trip to Meherabad, and back, and then again back to Bombay and seeing them off. So I thought I will have, apart from the 3 days allotted to the Bombay group for darshan, I will be having more opportunities to have Baba darshan. And this really made me very happy. Of course, as I said yesterday, Baba's health was not good. We were getting the reports that day by day Baba's health was deteriorating and he was having great pain. So like this, the body would shake. People had to press it down many times just to keep his body still. And then there were reports that Baba had said that if I cannot give darshan sitting down, I can give darshan lying down. And then they said, Baba said, okay, is there a problem if I close my eyes? So some indications were already there of what is going to happen, but nobody expected the Lord to drop his body, drop his human form, and allow us to have only his memories as darshan. After December 1968, when we went back to Bombay, frequently Arnavad used to give us the reports about Baba's health. And when Baba dropped his body on 31st January 1969, naturally we thought, what is going to happen to the darshan program now, Great Darshan. And then Manli issued a circular saying that the appointment with the Lord will be kept as it is. If there are no changes, and as Baba has said, this opportunity for having a darshan, whether he is in human form or not. Many people say that since Baba is not going to be there now, and he is going to, his tomb is already there, so we can go and have darshan at his tomb anytime we like. We have the need to go to Pune on the appointed days. As against that, several people thought it was Baba's command to have to come for his darshan. So they thought whether Baba is in human form or not doesn't matter. When he has said that you should come for my darshan, we should go for his darshan. And that was a great feeling. What I said, Baba, there is great stress on obedience. And the people who say that there is no need for go darshan, we felt that they are going to miss something great. When the Lord has called for darshan, we have to obey his command and go there. So that was the feeling I personally had when at Bombay Center also we used to discuss about the Great Darshan, and people would say that this is going to be a totally different darshan. We say it doesn't matter whether it's different darshan or not, we should go there. And I would say it was a great experience for me in experiencing Virat Baba's love through the way so many people who came there. Our, I think, Bombay group was in 2nd of April, 11th, 12th and 13th April for the Bombay group's darshan program. So we did go for that. And then I had the opportunity to go with the 4 different groups who came from abroad. We used to receive them at Bombay airport, take them to the hotel in Bombay where they have to stay one night, and then next day accompany them on the train to Pune, be with them for the duration of their stay in Pune, and go to with them to Guru Prasad every day in the morning, and also for Indian darshan go in the afternoon. That was the arrangement made. The Western groups were, overseas groups were to meet Baba in the morning, and the Indian groups were to meet Baba in the afternoon. So a lot of interaction with Mandli and with various Baba lovers. And being a comparatively new in Baba's fold, I loved that interaction. I had a chance to meet many people. Several of the young ones who came from overseas, especially from US, they were totally new to Baba. Many had not had Baba Darshan, or some had just heard about Baba. And there were a lot of what we call the tall children also, hippie type people, they were not that bad. But yeah, they with a long beard, long hair. Some of the people here present, I think, I remember seeing them in that avatar in those days. So, this was a wonderful feeling, and talking to them and knowing what they feel about Baba was a great experience, I would say. Because people who had not seen Baba and still they loved Baba, that was a great experience for me. As one day in a Mandli hall, somebody asked Eraj, you were very fortunate that you had Baba's close companionship for so many years. We did not have that chance to have a glimpse of him. Eraj said back, I think you are more fortunate than me. We had the Lord in the physical form with us, so naturally loving them was not difficult. But you people who have not seen him, just heard about him, and still you come here to have his darshan. So I feel you are more fortunate than us. And I would say that was a great feeling expressed by Eraj, that yes, those who have not seen the beloved, but still they love him. Their love is much greater than those who have seen him. During this darshan programs, we had various type of experiences. Many people had come to India for the first time. They had no idea what India was like. They had read about the tigers and the reptiles and everything moving on the road, so they had the impression that it's an uncivilized country. And when they landed in Bombay, saw good hotels, somebody asked me, there are refrigerators here? And I said, refrigerators? Of course we do have refrigerators. So he said, I thought we would not be having refrigerator even. That was what some of the people's idea was there about the India at that time. But their love for beloved Baba was uncomparable, I would say. They loved Baba, and several people used to ask myself and my wife. We used to be, I think, the Wellesley Hotel in Pune as volunteers during the group stays at that hotel. And in the evening, we used to sit together with many people, talk with them, and get their shared experiences. Especially since she had grown up in Baba's lap, I would say, they are very fascinated to hear from her experiences right from the childhood and now when Baba is not in physical form. And this interaction with several people really opened my eyes as to how we should love the Lord. This darshan program, of course, there was some people say bowing down to empty chair. That was the term used by many people. But many people say that when they bow down to the chair, they felt Baba's presence very much there in physical form. They said when we had thought about the chair will be empty, but when we approached the chair, we did not feel the chair was empty. Baba's presence was there. Because there's overpowering love from Mandli especially, Baba's Mandli, who received these people with an open heart and with love. They could see Baba's love through the Mandali's eyes, I would say. And that was a great experience for many people of the Great Darshan. Of course, we had some entertaining moments also. When in Bombay also, of course, one group from Hamirpur came for darshan. And they came by special train compartment. Now, the train compartment was attached to a train coming to Bombay. And in the morning, the train came to Bombay. And the evening, the normal train which to go to Ahmednagar via Manmad, that compartment was attached to that train. And they sent information to us that we are going to be in Bombay for one whole day. So you can arrange some sightseeing program for us in Bombay. And from this Bombay center, about 10 or 12 of us, we volunteered to receive them. We had engaged about 4 or 5 buses to take them around Bombay. And we thought when the train arrived, we'll tell them not to take out their belongings from the train, because we can lock that train compartment and leave it like that and take them without any baggage to see for sightseeing in Bombay. We were not sure whether that special bogie will be at the this engine end of the compartment or the last end of the compartment. So some of us stood near the engine where the train approaches. Some of us went at the back to see whether that compartment is at the back. And sure enough, that compartment was the last compartment of the train. And when the train came to a halt, people started jumping out of the train with all their baggage. And we repeated trying to tell them, please do not take out the baggage. Nobody listened to us. And what was their baggage? They're not fancy suitcases. The cloth bundles with big tins and some battered trunks. Like that, all the luggage was there. And before they got down, everybody got down, and we thought we'll put everything back in the train. Before that, the train was shunted back to the yard. And no alternative but now what to do with all this baggage. In the railway station is a cloakroom where you can keep your bag for the day. And we thought all this baggage we'll keep in the cloakroom. But the cloakroom attendants refused. They say, we can take only locked bags. Nothing else we can take. All these cloth bundles and cloth bags we cannot keep there. So now what to do? It was not possible to put everything in the buses and take them around Bombay with all the baggage and everything. So finally we decided, they came out of the train station, and at the exit of the station, we piled up all their baggage in one corner, the huge pile, about 4 or 5 feet high. Now who will take care of all this baggage? So finally, my wife and I, we volunteered that we'll sit here and take care of this baggage. Other people will told them, you take these people around Bombay in the buses. And that pile of luggage in the back, we were sitting there. It was around 10 o'clock. Thousands of people were coming out of the station to go to the offices. And that included many of our colleagues in the office also. And they saw us sitting there. They asked us, what are you doing here? What is this? Our family members from Hamirpur come here and they have been taken around Bombay for sightseeing and we are taking care of their baggage here. You can imagine we sat there the whole day, right from 10 o'clock in the morning till about 6:37 in the evening till they came back. After they came back, of course, we had to, the train was to leave about 9:30. So we had to serve them dinner. And there was a canteen on the first floor of the railway station. So we thought we'll take them and feed them there. So this whole big group, about 50-60 people, we took them there. As and when one by one seat got vacant in the canteen, we made them sit there. And then they had served a thali, Indian food, which contains little rice, couple of chapatis, vegetable, dal, like this. And they served the waiters in the canteen, they started serving this thali. But they still wanted more food, that was not enough for them, the 2 chapatis were not enough for them. And they would give more, of course they will charge you more. So somebody would demand chapati, somebody would demand vegetable, somebody would demand dal. So those waiters got exasperated. And finally they told us, do one thing, do us a favor, you go to the kitchen, bring whatever you want and serve your people. We cannot serve them. Sorry. So finally, we started going into the kitchen, got chapati and everything, and served them. And they had full meal to satisfaction. And then we wanted to settle the bill, so we asked the manager there how much we have to pay. So he asked, I said about 60 people were there. So they charged in those days something was less than 1 rupee. I think quarter of rupee or half a rupee, I don't remember. So he says, pay that much money. But we said, what about the extra food we have served them? He says, I'm not going to charge you for that. I said, why? He says, I have seen the way you people are treating these. These people are unkempt, I would say, wearing some dhoti, kurta, women wearing some sari. And they are all from rural folks. They had no sophistication, I would say, city sophistication. But in spite of that, he said, I can see with how much love you have for these people. And I told them, yes, Avatar Meherabad said, Angra is my head and Hamirpur is my heart. That's what Baba had said. Hamirpur is my heart. Because these people love us, so they have so much love. If you want to experience love, you have to go to Hamirpur and experience that love. I will divert little, I will tell you the story of Vilu Irani, Sarosh's wife. You might have known, many people stayed with them. Though Sarosh loved Baba, he was in Baba right from a young age. Vilu did not accept Baba as avatar. She would come to Baba, she would bow down to him, but she never felt that Baba is avatar, something like that. One day, Baba asked Sarosh to go to Hamirpur for some function. And he told Vilu that since Sarosh is going, you should accompany him, should give him company, take care of him during his stay there. So Vilu goes, and she was skeptical now how to go in that rural area. They don't have good toilets also in those days. The problem was there. But anyhow, she went with Sarosh. After they came back, she met Baba and fell down at his feet and said, Baba, now I realized you are the avatar. Why? Because the love which I have seen in those poor people's eyes for you has convinced me about your avatar. That was the way the Hamirpur people were so loving. Once we had gone there, and about it was 8 or 10 days trip to Hamirpur, Meherpuri opening was there. And these people, November was very cold. They didn't have any good places for us to stay. They would put us in schools, classrooms. They would spread straw on the floor, put gunny sack over there, and then put some bedding over it, so that we do not feel cold. And throughout the night, a huge cauldron of water will be boiling outside. So even if we got it up at night, we should have hot water for washing our hands. That was their love, you see. So this was unique experience for me, because I had not seen these people before that. This Hamirpur, I did not know where Hamirpur is or what is it. But when these people came to Bombay, the group came to Bombay, and I saw their love for Baba. Of course, there are so many other instances. When they were taken around Bombay, in one temple there is a big tank, and nobody is allowed to put their feet in that tank. But the moment these people saw the water, they rushed. Some people started washing their clothes. Some people and the people who had gone with them told us many amusing stories, and that is the part, I would say, was the part of Great Darshan, I would say. So this way, that Baba's darshan took place. Of course, there were several instructions issued before darshan, that especially the people who came from overseas should not bring any gifts for anybody, should exchange their money only through the authorized banks. Because in India in those days, foreign exchange was very scarce, and people would pay you a premium or much above the official exchange rate to get dollars. That was the case. If you wanted to go abroad, the government will allow you to take with you $25, not more than that. And you can imagine a person going to US with $25 in his pocket, how he meets. They have to buy the exchange from the outside, unofficial market, so get premium. But Baba has told everybody that you must abide by the law of the country, and you should not exchange any money in an unfair exchanges. And Baba's order was there not to bring any gift, and or we volunteers were told not to accept any gift from anybody. And many people want to offer something or that they felt that we were here with them for 3-4 days, going with them all the way to Pune and giving them back to Bombay, seeing them off at their, receiving at the airport in the first thing in the morning. And in those days, Bombay airport was a very small airport. The departure lounge was up to size of this room. There was a little railing halfway through. The passengers were going. They used to go on the other side, and we could stand there and talk to them. And then at the moment they went out the door, the plane would be parked just beyond that door, and they could board the plane and we go to the terrace and wave them from there. That was the Bombay airport at that time. Now, there was one old lady, I remember her name was Joanna, and in those days, the Kodak Instamatic camera was the new invention, I would say, camera. And she had brought this camera. And she was telling me, after I go back to US, I have no use for this camera. I just got this for having some photographs here. So when I go, I will give this camera to you. And I said, John, sorry, I cannot accept that. Baba's orders are there not to accept any gift from anybody. And she says, but it's a small thing, a very insignificant thing. You are not asking for it, I am giving it to you voluntarily. Why don't you accept it? As explained in my memory of we spent 1 week together. I said, no, I cannot accept that. Now, she said, okay. Then she walks through the gate inside and they're going to board the plane. Suddenly she rushes back. I was standing at the railing. She puts the cloth back in my hand. Keep this, I cannot take this, and she ran away. No, I did not know what was the cloth bag. The moment all these people went to board the plane, we ran up to the terrace to wave them goodbye. And I thought there was a small window. I put that bag on that window, still there. And I thought when we come back, I'll pick it up. And we went to the terrace. We waved them, they boarded the plane took off, and then they came down. And to my good fortune, somebody had already taken their bag away. So I could follow Baba's instructions of not accepting any gift from anybody. And Baba took care of it. See how compassionate he is. So this is what happens. Many instances there one, of course, another instance I remember, we had to leave that bus at 9 o'clock from Pune so that we can reach Ahmednagar, go to Baba's tomb, Meherabad, trust office, and come back to Pune in the evening. And from that hotel, I found one woman missing in the bus. So I ran up to her room, asking her, come down, why are you dealing the bus? And I knocked on the door, she opened the door. And she says, I want to wear the sari, but I don't know how to wear it. The sari is lying on my bed. Can you help me to wear it? Wear the sari. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. We are getting late. Why don't you put us on underclothes and come down immediately? She said, no, I want to wear the sari. So I said, okay. I ran down. I told my wife, please go out. Tell this lady to quickly wear the sari and bring her and board the bus. Many people they're fascinated by those rickshaw horns. You see, they had a peculiar sound, and they would ask us, where can I find the horn? Somebody wanted to buy musical instruments. Yeah. So we had to take them to the shop in Pune in musical instrument. But this was, I think, we enjoyed doing all these things because we felt that these are our people, rather Baba people, and that is how we did not feel any strain of carrying out the several different requests they used to make, and we tried to help them as much as we could. Of course, after this Darshan, Great Darshan, Baba is no more there. So what do we do now? And there I thought, how to follow Baba, how to remember him. Baba said, remember me constantly. And another thing he said, hold on to my garment, hold fast onto my garment. And the first avatar had expressed this, and that expression I had found when my mother-in-law narrated me her experience of the day when I think I told you before, I do not remember. Day Baba left Sapori. Then Maharaj said, whatever I have given to Meherabad. And he allowed those who wanted to follow Meherabad to go with him. And my mother-in-law and her fiancé, Talati, they were among the people who were to go with Baba. Baba left Sapori in the morning with Gustaji, and other people who were to go with him were to leave in the afternoon. In the afternoon, Dina wanted to say goodbye to Nawal, her fiancé. And she came out, but she did not find anybody around. And at the distance, there was a small Khandova temple in Sapori, where she saw Gulmai standing near that temple. And she was wondering what Gulmai is doing at the temple. So she went a little forward. When Gulmai saw her, Gulmai called Dina near her. And Dina said when she went there, she saw Maharaj was sitting in the temple with 7 or 8 people who were to go with Meherabad. And Maharaj was giving them the parting message. Maharaj was telling them, I have handed you over to Meherabad. Now Meherabad will take you to the destination for which you have come to me. And you stick to Meherabad till the end. And the simile Maharaj gave was, he says, as the postage stamp sticks on the letter goes to various sorting offices. But the stamps remain with the letter forever. So like that, you should stick to Meherabad. And Maharaj also added, a time will come when we speak against each other. I may speak against Meherabad, Meherabad may speak against me, but that will be our divine game. We should not pay any attention to that and do not get carried away by our exchanges. You stick to Meherabad till the very end. In other words, Maharaj had given the message to hold on fast to Meherabad's Daman till the very end. And it did happen in latter years. Baba and Maharaj exchanged several letters. Their problems, abusing each other probably, I don't know. But they were very strongly worded letters. And as Maharaj has told his Mandali, they never paid any attention to those exchanges of letters and nobody wavered from Baba. Dina's family, of course her aunts and this who used to go to Sapori, they started telling her that we had warned you about Meherabad not to go get influenced by Meherabad. See now what is happening. You stop going to Meherabad and better come back to Sapori with the shirk. And she says, no matter what happens, I will not leave Baba. You can continue to go to Sapori if you want to, but I will definitely go to Baba. And as per Baba had instructed them not to go to Sapori or Shirdi. And Baba term used, Dina would say, the term used by Baba was the spiritual plague in Sapori. And she said, I could not understand what Baba meant by spiritual plague. But I dare not ask Baba what he meant by spiritual plague. So anyhow, she says, obediently we carried out Baba's instructions. Once we left Sapori, we never went back there, excepting when Maharaj dropped his body. And Baba sent a telegram sending that whoever wants to go and pay their last respects to Maharaj can go and bow down to his samadhi. And at that time, Dina said, second time I went to Sapori. Otherwise, in her lifetime, once she left Sapori, she never went back to Sapori. So these were the instructions by Baba, and she was very, as I told you, she was very, very particular in carrying out Baba's orders, especially to the obedience. And that was, I would say, holding fast on to his Dhamma. There were several experiences here. Yesterday, I think, I narrated one story to a few people about a young cricketer who met Baba in 1922 in Manzile Meme days. His name was Homi Wajibdar. Homi was very, very proficient cricketer. In those days, of course, the cricket was a small game. not like today. Today it's become big money spinner. But in those days, people used to play cricket for the love of the game. They called gentleman's game. And Baba also loved cricket. Baba himself used to play cricket during his school days. So, Homi was very much attracted to Baba and started going to Manzil every day. He would spend the whole day. He was not part of Baba's Mandi in Manzil, but he used to spend the whole day there. So much so that he would get up early in the morning at about 4:30, buy fresh hot bread for Mandi's breakfast and take it to Manzil, because Mandi's breakfast was very lavish. Just bread, no butter or jam, and tea without milk or sugar. That was Baba's frugality in those days. So he used to take fresh warm bread every morning for the breakfast. Baba loved cricket, so Baba sometimes used to go with Homi to watch some cricket match at club level cricket match being played. Once Homi and Baba went to see the match, and one of the players in Homi's team was not well, and Homi himself was running some temperature. In spite of it, he asked Baba, can I go and play the match instead of my colleague who is not able to play the match? Baba said, okay, go, I'd like to watch you. And he played that match there and he won that match for his team. That's how the he was. And he accompanied Baba thereafter also several of his travels on must tours and everywhere. You can find in Lord Mayor several references to even Homi Wajibdar going with Baba at several places. And traveling with Baba was not easy. Unreserved trains, so much baggage you have to carry because they have to carry everything with them. Dal, rice, a stove also, because Baba's meal could be sometimes cooked on the railway platform. Just simple dal and rice. Sometimes they would used to make tea in the train compartment itself. That is how, so they had to take all the provisions and everything with them. So there are piles and piles of baggage would be there. And they had to transport, many times they had to change the train from one platform to another platform far away. And Baba would not engage any coolie, no money can be spent on coolies. So all this monthly they had to carry this baggage. So he used to like that, he was a very strong guy, he used to help him. And after some time, when Baba moved to Meherabad, Baba asked Homi to join his mandi. Baba said, why don't you stay with me permanently? And Homi told Baba, I have given a promise to one of my friends who died very young to look after his wife and children. And I cannot break that promise. I would love to come with you, but if I come with you, I will not be able to look after that family for which I have promised my friend. So I'm sorry, I will not be able to come. So Baba was very happy. Baba said, very good, you don't want to break your promise, so you can stay. So Homi stayed in Bombay. Thereafter, I think only once this happened somewhere in 24-25. And thereafter he had no opportunity except from one somewhere in 1931-32. He had saw Baba once. Thereafter he did not see Baba again. My wife's family, in the 30s, they were staying in Nasik when Baba was staying in Nasik. Dina lost her husband in 1938. And then by that time Baba also had disbanded his ashram at Nasik. And so Dina with her children came to Bombay, and so they had to stay in Bombay. And after that, several times Homi used to visit them just to talk about Baba. He would sit for 1 hour, 2 hours many times, asking several questions. about Baba's, where Baba is, what is happening, all those things, and I would tell him. After a few years, Homi stopped doing that also. And they had no news about Homi. Somewhere in 1959, Perviz, my wife, she got down from her office during afternoon lunch recess. There were 45 minutes lunch recess. She wanted to buy something, so she said during lunch normally she would go out for whatever things she wanted to buy or do something and come back to the office. So in the evenings again she doesn't have to stop, she can, after office gets over, she can straightway go home. And once when she had come down, she happened to meet Homi there. Homi was there. And Homi looked very frail. But Homi was very overjoyed to see her, meet her. And he started asking her several questions about Baba. She said about 10 to 15 minutes they stood on the sidewalk talking to each other. And finally Homi said, "My child, now it's getting late, you have to go back to your office, better go. Otherwise we'll keep on talking." And she went to the office, Homi left. This happened after another 2-3 weeks, again she happened to meet Homi, similar fashion. And this happened 2 or 3 times. So she felt probably Homi deliberately comes here in the afternoon just to talk about Baba. He is so anxious to talk about Baba. And she told her mother, this is what is happening. And mother said, quite likely he may be wanting to know about Baba more. So he comes to meet you. And Perviz said several times she suggested to Homi, instead of standing here, let us go to the restaurant, we'll have a cup of tea, sit there. And he would refuse. He said, no, I don't want to go, you will get late. I want you to go back to office as early as possible. So he would refuse even to have a cup of tea with her. But she said his health did not look good, he looked very frail. In spite of that, he used to come there. After that, she went to, I think, Guru Prasad or Meherabad somewhere to see Baba. And of course, whenever she met Baba used to ask her several questions about her life, her office, her mother, because she was asked to take care of her mother. And she would tell Baba everything that happened. And this time, Baba kept on asking her, is there anything more you want to tell me? Anything more you want to tell me? Suddenly she remembered meeting Homi. So she told Baba, since last few months, I have been meeting Homi Ojibdar. And whenever I meet him, he anxiously inquires about you. About 10 to 15 minutes, we stand on the road and talk about you. And he is very happy to talk about you. And when Baba heard that, Baba's expression was, did you meet my home? Baba gestured like this, you met my Homi. As if Baba is embracing Homi. She said she felt as if Baba is embracing Homi, and that is how Baba's expression was on his face. Perviz would say that she never felt Baba's silence. Baba's gestures, expressions, his eyes were so expressive. She said, before others could interpret what Baba is saying, I would know what Baba is trying to convey to me. So when he said, when I saw that expression on Baba's face, as if he is meeting his dear Homi after a long time, his eyes started crying. He had tears in his eyes. Anyhow, this happened. She comes back to Bombay, and after a few days she again meets Homi. And she tells Homi that yes, I was in Baba's company, I saw Baba, and told Baba about meeting you. And she expressed to him how Baba's gestures were there, how Baba felt as if he is embracing Homi. And Homi started crying. He says, does Baba remember me after all these years? So I said, of course, Baba does remember you. And Baba felt very happy when I told him about meeting you. So he said, thank you, my child. You have done a great favor to me by giving the message to Baba. Whenever you meet Baba, tell him, I have not forgotten him. I always remember him. After that, she did not see Homi again. 2-3 months passed. And one day she happened to meet Rao Sahib Apsari, who was teacher in Baba's school, and he was staying in Bombay. And she asked Apsari, I used to meet Homi here, but since last 2 months I have not met him. Is he not well? So Apsari said, don't you know, Homi passed away 2 months back. Probably after getting Baba's message, that was the last wish of his life was fulfilled, and thereafter he died. Next time when Perviz met Baba, he told Baba, Homi died a couple of months back. And Baba said, I know, he has come to me. So that is what is happening. Baba has said, once you put your head on my feet, the connection is made. Even if you may drift away, but I will not leave my hold on you. So this is what I say. After Baba is not in body, but we hold on to his Daman forever and be as if he is there with us. So these are the expressions. Another incident I remember was Dina's close family. Dina had 2 brothers, 1 sister. The sister got married. The man was an Orthodox Zoroastrian. He would not allow her to meet Baba there after marriage. But 2 brothers, they used to come to Baba. But after they got married, both their wives were indifferent to Baba. And though sometimes they attended Sahavas also and everything, but they a little drifted away from Baba, I would say. Somewhere around, say, 1985, 86 or late 80s, both the wives died. And his brothers started coming back, attending the center. Now one of them, his name was Dinsi Karani. He had a job, but then I think he was about 65, 70. And he was no more able to, because the office in which he used to work, they moved little away from Bombay. Their printing press, small printing press, the printing press moved away from Bombay, and DC couldn't go and work with them. But that person was very, very kind. He says, okay, you are grown old, so you need not join me, come there. But he would pay him every month some sort of pension as a money. That was the relationship he had developed with him. And the Dinsi started reading Baba's books. He had a large collection of Baba books. So, and he started reading discourses. And he would take notes from the discourses, important point from each discourse. And then he felt that he should publish a book of this extract from the discourses. By that time I had come to stay in Meherabad. So when I went to Bombay, he told me, Shridhar, I want to write this book and publish it. And I said, Mama, I used to call maternal uncle Mama, you know. So who will read this book? Why do you want to take this trouble of printing this book? Printing Baba books is a losing proposition. Baba's books do not get sold, so you invest your money and the books will remain with you. He says, no, it's my wish. And several people in Bombay Center helped him to typeset, read the proofs, correct the proofs, everything. And he found one of his friends was a printer. And he got that book published, printed, got extract from the teachings of Meherabad. It was slim volume, paperback volume. And then he distributed several copies free. Some he kept at the Bombay Center for sale. And of course, when he wanted to publish book, he had to get a permission from the trust also. So he asked me, get Bhauji's permission for me to print this book. And I spoke to Bhauji. Bhauji said, ask him to send some of the chapters he has written and give them word parts. Ask word parts to check the quality of his writing, you know. So I asked Dimsikar and he sent me a few pages of your book. So he printed this book and he gave me about 300 copies. He said there are 2 bookstores in Meherabad. You ask those people to sell these books. And whatever money you get, use the trust. I don't want any money. But the book was costing about, I think first was 20 rupees or 25 rupees, something like that. So I gave the copies, 50 copies to each bookstores. And to my surprise, they got sold in no time. And they asked for more. So I exhausted all these 300 copies. By this time, Dinsy's health was falling as it is. He was losing his eyesight also. He completed this book and thereafter he went practically blind. So Baba had to get his work done from him. And then he lost his sight. And then after a few years he died. Now when this copies got exhausted, I asked Dinsy, where did you print this book? So he gave me the name of the printer. This is why I said I would like to get more copies printed. Because these bookstores are asking for more copies. So I called that printer, he told me, yes, I have got all the forms and everything, I can print a book. And I asked him to print 500 copies. I paid him, of course. And those 500 copies also got sold within 1 or 2 years. And so far, I have sold nearly 1200 copies of that book. And of course, it's a non-profit business. Most of the copies I give to all the Baba centers. I think the 50 copies, you sell and use the money for your center. And that is how, but to my utter surprise, I was trying to discourage this man from printing this book. And he insists on printing the book. He printed the book. And I would say, in Baba books term, it could have become called a bestseller. So this is what happens, you know. Baba's hold is always on you. And whatever happens, we may try to leave him, but he does not leave us. Baba has said, intelligence has no meaning. Love has meaning. Obedience has more meaning. But holding on to my daman has the most meaning. And that is what is very important, holding on to his daman. All of us, we are few in number, I would say. Baba has said, a day will come when whole world will come. And Baba used to tell those people, especially, when I am in body, absorb me. Take as much advantage, as much closeness of me as possible. A day will come when the waves will come and you will be all thrown away. You will not be able to come near me. Baba used to say, tell the old Baba lovers, especially those who go to Guru Prasad. So this is what beloved Baba has said. We had his darshan in physical form. Very few people are there today who had his darshan in physical form, but there are a vast number of people who have been just known about him and are following him. And I would say that is the way we should hold on to his name. I think I have to talk about 12 o'clock, so can I take about 10 minutes to talk about the trust? I would like to tell you about the trust. Many people do not know about the history of the trust. Beloved Baba formed, John said the other day, in 1959, Beloved Baba formed the trust. Avatar Meherabad Trust, basically to take care of his samadhi, to maintain Meherabad estate, and to take care of his mandli after Baba drops his body. 10 years before he dropped his body, he had already formed the trust, so that those who had surrendered their everything and they had no worldly connections. Mandli was staying with Baba. Most of them were unmarried. They did not have any connection with their families, did not have any money of their own, and they were totally dependent on Baba for living. Baba wanted that they should be taken care of after he drops his body. So he had formed the trust, and one of the main objectives of the trust was to take care of this beneficiaries, what we call beneficiaries of the trust. Now, condition was that those who were single would get the money only for their lifetime. Those who had families, their families would get the money 10 years after the death of the main beneficiary. And the last beneficiary of the trust, Bauji, he died in 2013. So his family will be getting benefit for another 4 years in 2023. And thereafter, the main object of this first trust will come to an end. And so Bauji and Mani, they thought that we should form another trust of a perpetual nature. So in 1975, another trust was formed, Avatar Meherabad Perpetual Public Charitable Trust. And that became the main trust. After Meherabad, after New Life, Baba had transferred Meherabad property to Nawaz Nariman Dalasanji's name. And by 70, they are also getting old. So they thought they should form a permanent trust for Meherabad. So another trust was formed, Meherabad Charitable Trust. So these three main trusts are there, and one more trust is for Mayor Free Dispensary. That is a separate trust. The dispensary is run at Meherabad, started by Dr. Goel. So these three trusts are there. But main trust is AMBPPCT Trust. Of the office bearers of all the three trusts are the same, and the chairman also is the same, or common chairman. For the three trusts, Mayor Free Dispensary does not have a chairman. It has only trustees, board of trustees. So this is how trusts are formed. Now, Meherabad PPC Trust takes over all the responsibility of maintaining Baba's Samadhi, Trust estate. Trust also runs a English medium school in Aranda, in Meherabad. When I say English medium school, in India, there are two types of school. One, you then in the local language, Marathi, Gujarati, whatever the state language, and others are where they teach also in English. Now, English is though we have got Hindi as our national language, still English is an important language connecting India to the outside world. So people are very much anxious to learn English for better job prospects also. And to run an English medium school for the village kids is a hard-working job, because these children come families where the parents are small landholders or farm laborers. They don't have formal education, leave aside English, they do not know to read and write Marathi language also. So these children do not get any help at home for their homework, And the teachers in the school have to take that burden of teaching these children. And with Baba's grace, I would say, our school, Mayor English School, it is on par with any good school in Ahmednagar, so far the education is concerned. Many people from Ahmednagar, they want their children to admit to our school and we have to refuse them. Because the school here, we don't ask any donation for the school. The fees are hardly $7 a year for the entire year. And similarly, for bus transportation, also we charge very small token amount. And most of the expenses of the school are done from the trust, from the loving donations received from its lovers. And all the work, we also run a dispensary in Meherabad, which also takes care of about more than 100 patients a day. We have all allopathic, Ayurvedic, homeopathic treatment there. A dentist comes thrice a week, and extraction, filling, in root canal, all these treatments are done free of charge. Ophthalmologist is there, and we perform cataract surgeries, about 10 to 12 cataract surgeries practically every month, with implant of lens, totally free of charge. And I would say 100% success rate is there of all these cataract surgeries. They have performed over the years. Dr. Ann takes a great care of this surgery, cataract surgery, and all the medical care in Meherabad. And in dispensary also accepting 1 rupee as registration charge per patient, no other charge, money is taken, all the medicines, everything given free of charge. All the treatments, we have even laboratory for carrying on routine tests like urine, blood tests, all these things. The people do not have to go out and spend money on this test, that is our intention. So normal treatments are given and people are very happy about. More than 100 people take treatment in this dispensary every day. Of course, all these things do cost a lot of money. If you visit Baba's Samadhi, usually whenever you go to any holy place, any temple, before you have the darshan of the deity, your darshan of the donation box. Baba said, accept whatever is given from the heart. Even when Baba was in body, Baba would not accept money from anybody when he felt that this is not being given from the heart. There are several instances somebody would come with a big packet wrapped in some, I think, paper or something like that, put on Baba's skin. Baba asked, what is this? Baba, it's a little help for your work. And Baba felt that this person is just giving me, thinking that I am God, but he doesn't have a feeling of giving. Baba would give that packet back to him. Then keep it with you as my prasad. I will ask for it when I want it. At the same time, some poor woman would save a few coins, and whenever she went to Baba, she would wrap on handkerchief and quietly pass it on to Baba, and Baba would touch it to his head. This is how Baba accepted. So Baba had said, and Mandi also said, that keeping a donation box is an invitation to give. So we should not keep any donation box at the Samadhi. We should not keep any collection also in the vicinity of Samadhi. We should not have a donation counter. So many people who come to Meherabad, they feel this trust is a rich trust. They do not need money. That is the feeling they get. And people ask us, you don't collect any donation here, how do you run your expenses? I said, whatever your heart tells to give, you are free to give. You feel like giving, we willingly accept, give a receipt for that, but we do not collect any money at Baba's Samadhi. That is how the trust is run. Now with Baba's grace, in the earlier years, the expenses were not very heavy, and whatever donations were being received, we could save from that. And we have built a endowment fund, what we call corpus, what you people call endowment fund. We have built an endowment fund. Endowment fund is a cushion for some future needs. Whenever something happens, donations do not come to needed level, we can take advantage from the old endowment fund, and it earns interest also. So right now, whatever donations we receive and the interest which we get on the endowment fund is just enough to meet the expenses. The expenses are going up every year. Inflation is there. We employ more than 200 people to carry out various jobs. We have to pay them. They expect more and more pay. The increments are given to them. Expense of school is there. Expenses on dispensary is there. Expenses on maintaining trust estate is there. And due to more about our electricity bill per month is more than 300,000 rupees per month. Similar is the fuel bill also. Fuel for vehicles, tractors, buses, everything. And the expenses, of course, it is a sharp going up curve, and donation curve is flat curve. Over the years, the donations are not increasing at the percentage at which the expenses are increasing. And naturally, we feel after a few years, probably, if this trend continues, we may have to start drawing from the endowment fund, which will have a double effect. The fund will diminish and the interest income will go down. This is I'm sharing this information with you. We publish the accounts, of course, every year in the trust bulletin in his service. Accounts are published. After Bhauj's death, we felt that the trust should become more transparent and people should know what are our financial positions. So we started publishing our accounts every year. Even for the appointed trustees, still Bhaji was there, when money was there, Bhaji was there, Baba's monthly chairman. Whenever trustees' vacancy was there, they would select somebody and they will inform the board that this person should be opted as a new trustee. And that trustee was taken. Without any questions, the other trustees would always accept the suggestion from the chairman. So we thought this will not work anymore because monthly members are no more in charge of the trust. So we framed the rules saying that all the trustees by secret vote, they will select a new trustee. That is how we have been. The trustee's tenure also has been fixed now. No trustee can work for more than 2 terms of 5 years each, so 10 years. After that, he has to relinquish the post somebody else. This is so that some sort of democratic process is there in the trust, and this is more transparency. This is what we have done after I took over as chairman of the trust. And naturally, of course, as Baba has said, when your heart tells you to give, we welcome that, whatever you give. Many people have made trustee as a beneficiary in their estate. And recently, we got 2 or 3 legacies also, substantial money we got. So this is also another way of giving to the trust. If you are not able to give you your lifetime, you can make trust the beneficiary in your will or whatever it is, and after your death, some money can come to Baba. But the trust does need help, that is sure. So whatever I say, people are doing a great job. You are collecting money, bigger, always money is there, and I would say Baba would not let us down, definitely. But why should we give him the trouble that we should also see that Baba is not required to having a job. I would say, go give a helping hand. Without that, we should see that the trust created by him is run as per his wishes. Thank you very much for listening to me. If you have any questions, I can explain on the which.